VidGamesFTW.
Something about Just or No, go.
Okay, so it
Or
wasn't about just
AV.
Okay, yeah. So hold on. First off, hi, welcome back. Second off, continuing on from the last part, I was trying to say that like when we had gotten on the subject of like what people look like when they were younger, and then compare them to how they look now, kind of like with me.
Kind of what we did.
Yeah, like kind of what we
A
did.
few episodes ago.
But it's like weird to see, to really see it on shows, because like with AV, because what I was trying to say was that there was this one where,
You know, hold on. In hindsight, there's something a little wrong with that picture of an old man in a prison trying to grasp his arms out at a little girl.
anyways, so yeah, they had this part where in one of the special things that they did in one of the specials where it showed off, like, I think it was showing off like the old winners that were like, I guess, were really popular with everyone and stuff, like during that time. And like it was like it first showed a video of them older in like their 20s or something.
Yeah, I remember.
And
those.
then it's like, here's what the video was like in this year, which was like 19 something or
like
something.
80 something or whatever.
Yeah, it was like around the time. And it's like, to look at that comparison of like, and to make that comparison of like when you were like a baby or something, and then just looking at the way you are now and like you're in like however old you are, it's like, oh my god.
Also, I never elaborated, speaking again of AV on my end, why we were bringing up Jess is because obviously he's crashing in these games.
Yeah.
So that blew my mind. I'm like, the announcer of AV is Crash Bandicoot's voice. That's awesome.
Also, the cog thingies are there aren't
They no
basketballs.
longer look like basketballs. I always used to think, I never thought that they were, I just thought that they looked like basketballs. They resembled basketballs in the original.
So, no ball is life jokes in the comments. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know.
The parts will fucking do it.
Yeah, probably. It's a big definite maybe.
Get out of here, old man hands.
It still weirds me out that they're old men
Yeah,
and
they're
not
a
like some sort of
creature. Unknown creature lurking in the darkness.
I wonder why they decided to make it old men instead of
know.
like, you know.
Oh, fuck.
Cool.
In hindsight, I kept telling myself in my head, okay, I'm not going to do this, and I'm doing the bonus round. So it's like, yeah, whatever. We're at the end of the level anyway.
We have to get past one OVJ mother effort.
Yeah, COLLAB assistant, aka in the code of the original, object motherfucker.
Object ass banger.
Asperger. I want to know which one was named that. That's fucking funny.
We're very mature.
They're very mature. They're the ones that did that.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
the ass banger one, assistant banger.
Well, I mean, that was meant to be taken seriously.
I don't know what
but,
the
like,
banger part was meant in the coding for their names.
But like
Ass
that-
meant for assistant.
Hmm.
So because of that one little goof, they thought it was really funny. Because
They thought it was funny,
and
so they were
because
like,
their
let's-
sense of humor is amazing, they intentionally started calling them asshole, motherfucker. And I'm like,
just
wow,
ended off with Coco's glare.
you guys are awesome. It's the funniest thing.
Tell me, is that something you would do if you?
Yeah, probably. I already knew what you were gonna say. When I make my own games, yeah, probably. Leave a little surprise for anyone who tries to dig through the game's codes. It'd be funny. I'm gonna call this enemy, fuck your mother.
Worst enemy ever.
Worst enemy ever. But in the game, his name is Gary. I don't fucking know.
Gary.
I remember this. Doop-wop. Doop-wop. Doop-wop.
Freaking baby geniuses. We're also saying about that.
Dude, it blew my mind when
Yeah.
I was watching Baby Geniuses as a kid, and it blew my fucking mind that they had the Crash arcade game. I was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
or the cabinet. I was like, oh my god. Or okay, not the arcade cabinet. What the fuck am I talking about? It was like the kiosk,
Yeah.
but I was like, dude, that's awesome. And they had a big ass advertisement poster for Crash Bash in the Country Bears movie.
Really?
Yeah. And Chandler plays Crash Team Racing in an episode of Friends.
Oh yeah.
That was
Yeah,
fucking-
that I know.
That was fucking funny.
That was like the one thing I remember.
And
Speaking of which, I still need
Johnny Test parodied Crash with Smash Badger 3
and Simpsons parodied Crash 2.
with Dash Dingo.
Yeah.
See, like, they're not there. See, the markers aren't there.
No, yeah.
I don't know why. Fuck.
I was gonna say something. Oh, what was I going to say?
I know what to say. Shout out to Coco. She's a trooper for taking our fucking laptop everywhere.
Yes, even water.
Yes. Wait, what?
Oh yeah, that's what. Oh, see, look at that. Isn't that what that is?
Yeah,
right there?
that one's there, but the other ones weren't. Watch. Those ones. Shouldn't there be markers
Well,
there?
I mean, you can still see like a marker where it's gonna be. It's just very light.
I guess. Oh, shit.
It's like two darker shaded parts. That's like, hey,
Of the
this is
carpet.
this is the border.
Because,
like,
no, that's the shadows. You can see them right there, too. Watch.
well, even it goes the same for the
See?
pendulums.
I mean, I guess. These were obviously a clear indication, though. That's all I'm trying to get at. I'm not sure if... On this part right
See?
here, I'm not sure if they're even in the original or not. I'm just saying, like, it's weird that they don't have them there. But they have them all over right there. When they're in midair, of course, there's nothing to indicate that they're there. I'm fucked. I don't know where I'm going. Oh my god! Holy shit! I can't believe we actually did that in the fucking dark. Shout out to my fucking Crash skills. Jesus Christ.
I remember what I was going to say. It was a small thing, but like when you mentioned Friends, I was like, I still need to.
You were watching that.
I was watching it. I watched it up to a certain point with my grandmother, but I don't know why we just kind of stopped. I still need to. I still want to finish it because we're on season 4.
How many are there? Like 12 or something?
No, it was like
10?
I think it was 10.
Probably.
What season was the Crash Team Racing one?
I don't fucking know, like 7 or 8 or something.
You don't even remember. All right.
It was one you haven't
There's
seen
like a-
because you kept telling me I don't want to see that part yet.
Well, cause
I'm like, you're not gonna get. Oh, hi! Shout
Alright.
out to Mayode
Mayude
327.
saying something about moaning. All right, we're not gonna do it.
So anyway,
Anyways,
I forget
yeah.
which season it was, but it's one of the later ones that you haven't seen.
yeah.
So you didn't want to see it.
Well,
I was
because
like-
wanted,
I was
'cause
like- I was
to
like,
lead-
but let me show
Because
you.
I wanted to lead. I wanted to
Let me
like.
show you the
I wanted to be.
reference.
Just wanted to be a lead up to that part. Because obviously I still remember it. Because you
Also,
showed it to me.
Like fucking Buffy or Angel, one of those shows. Also, I think makes a reference to Crash at one point or another.
Buffy.
Maybe not Buffy. I think it's like fucking the spin-off show Angel. I think one of them makes some kind of reference.
Okay.
Maybe it was a completely different show and I'm just thinking of something else.
Supernatural.
Well, it's funny in Smallville. I'm just gonna let that hit me. Whatever. In Smallville, they had a. It's not a Crash reference, but they had a PSP in like season 9 or something or 10. But it was supposed to be like a GPS like tracking device. So they had a. They tried so hard to get rid of the PSP logo on the back, but they failed miserably because you can still see that it's a PSP.
I remember that. Yeah.
You can still see the fucking. I don't know if it was done digitally or if they actually had to try and somehow manually. They had someone like replace the buttons, the symbols.
Really?
But the buttons are still in the same order and everything, and it still had the D-pad and all that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was fucking funny. I was like, oh my god, it's straight up a PSP. They're trying to pass it off as a GPS tracking device. It was the funniest thing.
I remember. I remember that. Dude, do you guys still remember when Smallville used to come on TV?
Yes, I remember when it ended in 2011. My mom and I freaked the hell out when we saw Clark fly. Like, for realsies. Oh shit, I spun way too
You
early.
spun too early. You should have rolled.
Because we had like really crappy reception with our antenna, so we had to go back and forth between her room and the living room to watch the whole thing. So it kept breaking up. The picture kept breaking up.
Yeah.
Yeah, at first, I mean, I don't remember being this way. I guess I was this way, but I don't remember. But when the show used to come on, my mom first watched it. She said when I was a kid, I never really liked it. I was like, why are you watching that show? But then, the more I got into it, I was like, dude, the show's fucking awesome. And that could spin itself off into a whole fucking, Superman discussion, because, like, I still think that's one of the better portrayals of Superman / Clark on TV.
Yeah. I personally, like...
Slash in media in general.
I personally have never really watched Smallville. I've seen a
Certain
majority of it.
And stuff, yeah.
I've seen a majority of Smallville, but I can also say that, like, I think it's a better iteration of, like, how Clark becomes Superman and stuff like that.
I mean, because that's what the whole premise is about, they had a lot of time to do their own versions of how certain events happen, like how Jonathan died and all that. They give it proper time to develop.
Yeah.
Versus even the Reeve movies, where it's just like, well, he got a heart attack, now Clark becomes Superman. It's like, okay. That's how it happened. That's how it happens in every fucking iteration. Jor-El dies, and then Jonathan dies. Do we even have to mention Man of Steel? Like, the way that was fucking poorly handled?
Bye, son.
That is pretty much how it happened. That's exactly how it happened.
Got a script here that says boom. What did you expect?
You were not wrong in that. Oh my god. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to Smallville, I mean, it obviously has its fucking corny ass moments. Like, my mom and I make fun of those moments all the time.
In fact, they try to make it an exercise.
We try to make it an exercise to do 10 push-ups whenever Clark says someone's name dramatically, or they face away from the camera while they're talking to someone, and then do the dramatic, like, little turnaround to continue the sentence. They do that all the these little tropes and shit. Actually, people went further and turned those things into a drinking game.
Real? Oh,
don't play that drinking game.
Oh.
You will die before, like, season 1 ends. Meanwhile, Coco's dead. Jeez. It's just gonna keep going. How it should not just splattered on the ground at this point. Like, legit, just like an orange puddle. With her flower and her laptop. Because for some reason her clothes and shoes would also melt, but not her laptop or her flower.
Well, I mean, you know.
Here you go, enjoy. Do Castle Machinery.
Oh, is that
We're nearing the end of the game already. The first one.
Great.
Castle Machinery.
Let's change back to Critch.
And you can't be stingy. You don't have the green gem, so you can't go up and get the 30 plus lives up there.
Yeah.
Oh man.
The freaking lives.
These fucking 30 lives. Just come on.
Fine. You know, sometimes I forget I play the first game because there are certain things I would have liked to do if it was in the other ones.
Okay.
Because I pressed circle as I was falling.
So you could body slam?
I could body slam just in a funny way. Nope.
Yeah, circle does nothing in this iteration, in this remastered. You would think, because in the original, square and circle were both to spin. Something tells me if you 100% the game, maybe you like unlock the fucking slide or something. I don't know. Because because completely unbeknownst to all of us, you actually unlock the run ability in Crash 2 in this version. That threw us all off.
Yeah.
Because you don't get any superpowers or whatever else, otherly abilities, in the original Crash 2, so we had no reason to believe they would do it in this one. So we were like, oh crap, that's cool. You can see us react to it on stream, we were like, oh shit, we got the Crash Dash! Hey, I dare you to get those lives down there. Oh, not right here, but when it comes up, you know.
I know what you're talking about. There's no way in hell I'm gonna get those.
But it's a little extra challenge. Wait, we already have 99 lives though, don't we? Yeah, okay, never mind. There's no point for it anyway.
Well, as of right now, there's really...
See how easy it is to get 99 lives in these games, or in this game? Even in the original, I've never really hit 99 lives in 2 or 3.
Wait.
What?
This is a big thing, because we passed the high road, and we got back to 99 lives.
Yes.
This is amazing.
Okay. Where were you in the last episode where it took me like 2 tries or 3 tries?
If only it was like this on the stream, then it would have been amazing.
Yeah, 50 fucking... We're not even exaggerating. 50 lives we lost. We had like 96. We ended up with like 30.
Yeah.
That's more than 50, but I mean, still,
it's a lot.
Yeah. Our point still stands. We lost like a fuck ton of lives. Whereas it would never happen in the original.
Yeah.
Because again, I'm used to those physics. Getting used to these physics is weird. Plus, there's little technical differences that we notice that aren't the most polished. Like we were saying, like the jumping is a little odd.
I almost ran into that.
Landing on platforms or overshooting or undershooting them sometimes can be a problem.
Yeah.
But it's not, again, the biggest thing, because we've already beaten the games, so it's still obviously doable.
Well, you know, it's just...
Meanwhile, shout out to this fucking music because they took samples from little sound clips in the original song and incorporated it into this remastered version, and I love it.
I thought it was pretty cool how like the who was it that released the pre-console versions of certain songs?
That was Josh Mansell himself, the guy who composed the music.
Some of those were really awesome. I like the way they sounded.
They sounded noticeably different because that was what those songs in the original were always intended to sound like, but because of the limitations of the PS1 making them sound more compressed and muffled, they could only do so much with them. So he ended up changing them up a little bit before the release of the game, and then those are the versions that we know today.
Yeah. And that's why there's a thing called like changing things, like with making games and stuff like that. It's like that thing where it's like
Beta!
Yeah, with beta stuffs. Because it's just...
Which I love watching. I want to see if there's anything that got cut or changed from... I mean, besides the obvious stuff that we've seen in all the trailers and everything, I want to see what else has been changed in Insane Trilogy besides, like, the lighting and the little technical things like that. We know of those differences.
Freaking uka uka.
I wonder if the cutting room floor... Oh, what, the fucking Game Over?
Yeah.
Where the lighting is way off and you can barely see his face, but his glowing eyes... See, I don't know if that was intentional, but how his eyes glow and you can barely see his face, that actually makes it creepy in a good way.
Yeah.
Ironically enough, because it looks unfinished because of the way the lighting looks.
Oh, dude!
What?
It's Nutritious Brian and the Slimer.
Yes, Slimer. The little blobs actually have faces. They're little creatures now.
Yes, it's really weird to me. I'm used to seeing them as seeing the things as blobs.
This chair is so fucking creaky. Look at how weird they look. But what's cool is that there's actually an indication now that they're hurting him because they squirt at him. They did not do that in the original, so for whatever reason, his fucking life force must have been tethered to those blobs because there was no real actual reason as to why they were hurting him. You just jump on them, they disappear, and his health bar goes down a little bit.
Again.
But here, they're actually squirting him in the face, and so it's like the acid hitting him in the fucking face.
Again, he was dying because you were killing his creations.
I mean, sure, why not? It's like Mickey Mouse Capade. When Minnie dies, Mickey gets so fucking devastated that he kills himself.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Mickey Mouse Capade. If Minnie dies, you die. You have to keep.
Oh.
Yeah. What the hell did you think I was talking about?
Something else. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, it's like Suicide Mouse.
Please don't. Let's not bring that here.
I love how it says question mark, exclamation mark, question mark.
Oh, what the?
Good job, you missed him. Also, he's way fucking slower in this version.
Yeah, it threw us off.
We kept dying because we were like, what the fuck? Patience, young Padawan, patience.
That's something that you don't have. So.
Yeah, as you get hit because you went way too early.
Well, I mean, you know.
Actually, wait for him to get like relatively close, like near that B right there.
Right there.
There you go.
Freaking Hulk Brio.
That fucking skeleton, that skull in the shape of his head.
There we go.
Whee! It can fly, except not. Oh, great, him again. We're just gonna keep seeing this dude. I love how we said we were gonna fix the problem we never did. We will surely fix it before we get into Crash 2, or before we finish this one. So I believe it's just the lab left.
The lab.
This is my lab. And this is my laboratory. I fucking love that joke from SpongeBob. It's a fucking Labrador. I love it. That was a really funny joke. Oh, we could talk about SpongeBob forever, but we're not. Besides, they're making a third movie, and I'm not okay with that. Because I remember one time I was checking Clancy Brown's IMDb page to see if he was going to have any part in Insane Trilogy, and I saw that it said SpongeBob Movie 3, now filming, and I'm like, are you fucking serious? The Sponge Out of Water wasn't bad, it was just meh.
Yeah, it was alright.
I mean, it is, if anything, it does show that they are getting a little bit better with not making it fucking awful.
Little blobs.
That's funny because everyone hates on new SpongeBob, but I mean, they are getting a bit better because Steven Hillenburg is back on the show, and him being gone was like the biggest reason as to why like the showrunners from that point onward had like no clue what to fucking do. So they were like, make random jokes because that's what worked in the originals, and it's like, well, sure, but they're a little too random. So it just comes off as really fucking weird. And so
And there goes the phone once again.
Yeah, just pay no mind. Should we just cut? I don't know. No, fuck it, yeah. Why'd you be like Wes or someone? I swear if it's Wes. Okay. It tends to be Wes like all the time, and it's the funniest thing. Good job, you missed 2 boxes.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh, was it back there?
Yeah.
Oh.
Did that butterfly just vanish in thin air?
Who knows?
So, you know where there was that arrow box above?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there were 2 more way up there. You had to bounce on one, not hit it from below, get on that one, and there were 2 off screen.
Well...
Yeah, they're kind of cruel that way. I don't even think those were in the original.
Dang it. I wasn't close.
You got shocked. Congratulations. Also, I love his fucking arms.
I know.
Object motherfucker should be in arms. Dude, he would be quite shocking with his fucking Reese's peanut butter cup hair. I'm so hungry. I'm gonna make mac and cheese after this.
I'll make sandwiches.
I love my mac and cheese. I know everyone's gonna start making those fucking jokes from Destination Mark, the Mark and Cheese jokes. Mark and cheese. That and pizza became some of my most favorite foods as of recent.
Pizza is the most obvious one because
I
you
love
get it.
pizza. It tastes really good.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you have to get it like every single weekend.
Well, excuse me if I just want to have a good time.
Really mean there's limits, Marcelo.
There's limits to your wallet.
Shit.
Good job you died.
Shut up.
Tune in next time. We're fucking like 10 minutes over our limit again.
Ugh.
I love that song.
What song was that?
Fucking The Lab.
Oh, well, okay.